what's up, guys? Oh, wait, there's more.
We live in an age where those in power are openly using every weapon at their disposal to impose their will upon the future. Where the principles of authoritarianism and individualism stand in open conflict in the streets, in the courts, in the news, in everyday life. Where the choices we make and the choices that are made for us have consequences no one can foresee. You do not stand alone. You do not fight alone. You do not suffer alone. We are united. We resist. We are here with you. As long as there is a truth that remains hidden, as long as lies are spread openly, we will continue to speak out. We will continue to question. We will continue to be the united resistance.
And what is up, guys? It is Drew here, the Supreme Heretic, and I do have a guest, and we will get to that here in a minute. But I wanted to first say what is up. I know I've been away for a while. That was the reason for the stream. And, well, let me just say a lot has happened. And God, I really have gone through a whirlwind of events. And I know the last time I was actually live was probably back in June, about mid June, I want to say. So it's been a good minute. And, you know, as I said, a lot's happened. And it's going to take a few minutes to explain. Um, there will be an apology to you guys, first and foremost, as an audience, because I failed to deliver in my responsibilities as a content creator. And that's, and I understand life gets the best of us, and it certainly got the best of me. Okay. And I will go through somewhat of the story, obviously, to protect, certain facts and things like that. I'm not going to go into the complete story, but I will cover what's happened. And that's the purpose of today's stream, because it's mainly to come back and say hello, reintroduce myself, and kind of get back on the horse. Because when you're going through a lot of things, sometimes your motivation can take a hit. Your things that you found fun, your hobbies, your interests, kind of just fall by the wayside. And I've been fighting off a lot of emotions, a lot of different things. And of course, my living situation hasn't gotten much better. And I'll get into the whole thing step by step. First, I want to welcome in our guest for today. Everybody knows him from the chat, one of our favorite trolls. It's Tobat. Um, I think today he's posing as Macho Man, but honestly, Tobat is one of those people that's been really good. He knows what's going on. RR, I see in the chat. Papa Cotton, I see in the chat. Bone, thank you for the wonderful welcome back. It's nice to see everybody. Rita is here. Rita, I love you, honey. It's great to see you again. And Dwayne, I have to, first off, those of you that had my contact info offline, there are some of you that I had numbers for and things like that. I do have to share with you my new cell number. I do have a new one. So if you would like that, please reach out. I'll give you my new one. Or if I have you already saved in my phone, I will text you the new one so that you have it. So I wanted to let you guys know that. But let me bring Tobat in, say what's up. Tobat, what's up, buddy? Hail.
Greetings and greetings to the chat. Thank you for having me on your dynamic comeback tour.
Well, you know what? Like I was saying, buddy, it's comeback season. And that's I think what is important here. It was a big step for me to get back to the right headspace, to get back into creating content. It's been rough, and I want to take you guys on. Oh my gosh, Adega, great to see you, buddy. Man, it's great to see you. I want to take you guys kind of on the tail of what happened, because there's been a couple times I popped on different streams to say hi to people and whatnot, but I haven't been on actively in a very long time. As I said, it's been a good over 2 months. First and foremost, guys, I am working. I've got a full-time job now. I'm working for a company called Right, and we are a traffic control company. I basically work doing traffic control for construction zones, utility work, things of that nature. So I'm one of the people that you see out there with the stop slow paddle, what they would refer to as a flagger, whatever. We like to call it traffic controller because that's basically what we are, because we're directing traffic. Even though they say we're not traffic directors, yeah, we're directing traffic. That's what we're doing. So what that is, I have a 4-year certification, so I can pretty much go to any company that does that. So that is something that is a good development. Um, Unfortunately, the rest of the story, minus getting the job, is rather unfortunate. So when we last left off, of course, you guys know I was staying in a hotel. I was living in one. I was mainly because I was on different waiting lists for apartments and things like that. Well, let's just say that anybody out there that says there's not a housing crisis is full of shit, number one, because there is.
Yeah.
Um, I got, I didn't end up getting an apartment. And unfortunately, I got caught up in, a twofold problem. Number one, you know, as you guys know from following through when Mama Heretic was alive to when she passed away, one of the things that I share with Mama Heretic was her generous nature, that kind heart. Well, that didn't change when I got into the extended stay. I went in there with whatever proceeds I got from the sale of the house. I thought I was doing well. I paid off some bills. I got a little bit ahead. And then what happened was, I started to see, and meet people that were less fortunate and were in messed up situations. And one of the things I do, both as somebody that walks with God and somebody that is just a kind hearted person, I listen to people's stories. I, you know, I felt for those that were going through struggles. And, a lot of what I had, I helped others with, and that includes, like, I had a friend that showed up at the extended stay, was homeless. I floated his room. I was paying for my room. Then I met, of course, what would be the possible Mrs. Heretic, which was my fiance Vanessa, and you guys remember that. Well, the thing is with that, and I'll get into my situation there. Again, I'm not going to go into huge detail, but all in all, the weight of handling all of that stuff while being as kind and generous as I was, I didn't look out for myself well. And it's a life lesson learned. You know, Eventually, you know, um, having the issue of not having steady employment at the time and everything else, the money eventually ran out. And then once we got to, I want to say, early July, um, I had departed the extended stay. Vanessa went her separate way. She had to find a stable place for her and her son to be. She took a rental, and I ended up an hour away in a strange town because I'm staying with Will. You guys remember Will from United Resistance. So that's where I'm at right now. And I'm in the process of completely rebuilding. And I could navel gaze all day long. I could sit here and say, I made bad decisions, which I know I did. I didn't make the most responsible decisions with charity, but I don't feel bad that I helped people at the same time. You know, it's my cross to bear. I put myself in a hole. Yes, I did. And I own that. Now I'm working, I'm making a steady paycheck every week, and I'm slowly but surely rebuilding. And sometimes you have to lose everything in life to gain a lesson. And even at 49 years old, you're never too old to learn a life lesson. And I did, you know, and while I don't feel bad about actively trying to help others, I now understand you really can't help others until you help yourself. And if there was any failing in that, it was learning that lesson a little bit on the harsh side. So again, with everything that happened and all of that, you know, I lost my zeal to do my live streams. They started becoming fewer and fewer. And then I just cut out doing it altogether. So now I am just starting back from square one, and it is what it is. But the one thing, and I had this discussion with Tobat offline, I've had it with some of you guys offline. I had to get back on the horse. I had to get back to being Drew. I had to get back to being the supreme heretic, that person that was on that mission to wake everybody up, to help be a leader in pushing back against the very problems that are affecting all of us.
And there are a bunch.
And there are a bunch. And that's why, you know, it's important. My voice is important, and I know that. And I'm just sorry that, from my standpoint, I took such a long time to come back to something I shouldn't have ever left. But I needed to for a while. And I hope that you guys understand that. And I come back before you a humbled person, but I think a better person as far as, you know, gaining a life lesson out of this, and also, you know, finding myself again. And I'm thankful for that. And I want to say, you know, hello to St. Floyd. Thank you. I want to say hello to Raspergam. Thank you, buddy. It's great to see you. Eastland, thank you for being here. Tina Bojan's here. Thank you so much, Tina. And, you know, guys, Phil TMNT's here. Phil's talked to me offline. He's been great. And, you know, I just want to say thank you, especially to all the mods, Tina, RR, you know, the people that have always helped make this channel go behind the scenes. You know, take a bow, you guys. You guys have never wavered from having my back, and thank you so much. Papa Cotton, thank you for always being my friend. Keck, thank you, man. You know, I appreciate you. Big John, thank you for supporting the channel and staying with me, man. You know, Godzillionaire, I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for being here. You have been a stalwart friend and supporter. And Dwayne and Rita, I love you guys. You guys are extended family, and you know that. And thank you so much. You know, guys, I'm overwhelmed with the show of support right now. I mean, you know, it's emotional. It's got me choked up. I am very happy to see all of you. And the 21 viewers that are out there, my gosh, I'm overwhelmed right now because it's my first stream back and it's been months. So thank you so much. Now, I do have to find a time and a place for my streams. And CJ, great to see you as well, buddy. Thank you for always being a longtime friend and supporter. I also want to send a shout out to Bear and Tommy and people like that have been, you know, friends both on and offline that have helped in so many ways. You know, I can't begin to thank you. You know, it's hard. I am right now, while I'm staying with Will, I am saving for a place. I do want to move back to the county that I am familiar with. in the town that I'm familiar with that I lived in before. I do miss it. I was thinking of moving out of state, and then I think things with Vanessa kind of changed that paradigm. Um, there's also other reasons, but I do want to stick around. I just want to go back home. That's my goal. And I set a goal of getting back to, hopefully being in my own place, getting back home by mom's birthday on October 31st. I dearly want to make that happen. I want to honor my mom's memory by getting under a roof of my own by her birthday so that I can go live and say, Mom, I did it. I did it. I was able to do it on my own.
You're going to get there, man.
And, I'm really trying my ass off right now. But I do want to bring back my shows, and it's important to me. And I want to bring back at least United Resistance. So, what we're going to do is we're going to figure out a day and a time for it because United Resistance is important. It is our flagship. It is everything. United Resistance is everything, you guys, because so much is happening right now. And don't think for a second that I haven't kept up with the news, because I have, in both pop culture and in both politics. Because it is a shit show all over the place. And we're going to have plenty to talk about on episodes of United Resistance. I don't have right now the premium StreamYard. We're not going to have those huge resistance parties we did have, but I can still do 6 people on a panel. I can still do things like that. And we're going to go hard. We're going to go hard. I am going to do the same thing that I've always done. YouTube is going to do what it does because and I know all of you in this chat intimately well because you guys know as creators and as chatters what YouTube does. They are going to try to censor. They are going to try to shut me down. Because, as you know, one of the things I take pride on is being 100% as real as it gets. I'm not going to BS anybody. I'm not going to tell anybody, that it's raining when I'm peeing over top of your forehead and try to pull one over on you. I'm never like that. I like to get to the truth. I like to put out thought-provoking content, and we are going to do that. But, I do want to say this. For those that have never watched me before, there are some people in this chat, I think, that Rita, I think I still have yours, and I'm going to reach out to you a little later. Because I just got to go back through my call logs, and I think I can get it to you. If not to you, at least to Dwayne, and you guys will have it. But I do want to say this. So for anybody out there that's watching and has never watched me before, this channel, I talk about pop culture, I talk about politics, I talk about what's really going on in the world. And if I'm going to streamline it, and you guys that are in the chat that know me, let's streamline it for the people out there that don't know. Okay? So for the people out there that don't know, the world, most of it is a construct. It's an illusion. All right? All our division, whether it's racial, whether it's religious, whether it is Republican versus Democrat, it is an illusion. Why? To make money. Those that seek money and power, which are 13 families from 13 original bloodlines, you want to call it from the old country, from old money, whatever you want to call it. Those families, their descendants, their progeny, and their minions are the ones that shape and run this world. And everything from the United States of America to the to any country that you want to name up, any major country. And oh, by the way, the royals aren't out of this. They are part of the problem. They are part of that. But those people and their bloodline and the minions that serve them they comprise the global elites that we talk about. That is the global elite. For those of you that really didn't understand what the global elite was or just thought it was buzzwords, that, in a nutshell, is the global elite. And then we have the various organizations, which we all know ad nauseum by now. You know, the United Nations, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, go on and on with all the weird organizations. For those of you that like the hot buzzword ones, the WEF and the WHO and all the entities like that, all serve the same masters. They all run the world. When you get into election season, because it's coming up, don't think for a second that you have a choice. It is an illusion of choice. Yes, do we have some people that are better than others? Absolutely. We have some non-brainwashed candidates, but you have to get down to the heart of who these people are, what their character is, before you get behind them. Because usually it's all a puppet show. And the end goal is to play both sides against one another, and they win either way because they get their people in all the time. That's why they have control of every major country. That's why they have control of global currency through the central banking system. That's why they force climate change, because it's manufactured. It is their chief moneymaker. That's why many global crises, many wars are manufactured, because it is a moneymaker. And it is all to serve their interests. They look at us as useless eaters. They look at us as expendable. We are the cog in the wheel, the wage slaves, those that make up we pave the road for what they want to get done. We pave the road generally, but inadvertently we serve them because of the system that we're stuck in. It's messed up, because what do? Well, what you do is you think for yourself, because one of the things that will always break power and corruption is free thought. See, thinking for yourself and free thought is the very backbone of how you resist what is going to happen. And it gets into all kind of weird territory. And it's not just about being a patriot. It's not just taking pride in where you're from. It's taking pride in your world. It's taking pride in standing up for what is morally correct, what is correct between right and wrong, which the world is leaning towards the ways of the wicked. The biggest thing is, money and power have corrupted people. Social media and, technology has been used to essentially retard people.
Yeah, and the filters are out of control now too.
Exactly.
Especially on liberal sites.
Exactly. But, it's even on conservative sites. It's crazy. But the thing is, guys, that we need to understand is, we talk about why psychological disorders are at an all-time high. And I was just having a conversation with Tobat the other day about the fact that, it seems a lot of times in my past in present romantic relationships, I've run into a common theme. I always meet people with psychological damage. They've been in a ton of abusive situations, abusive relationships, and things like that. And you start to break down the root cause of this. Well, why is this happening? Or why do they have such trauma? Well, a lot of it is psychological conditioning. You've got to think about what we've been subjected to, psyop after psyop after psyop. We have social media turning people, into vain narcissists. That's why you're seeing an outbreak of people with these really vain attitudes. And remember, guys, over vanity. Well, that's one of the 7 deadlies, isn't it? Vanity.
Especially if you're our age and you look at the 2 younger generations coming up now.
Yes.
Watch. I know you might not, but take a gander. Look at some of the stuff they put out and look at how they view themselves and present themselves. You'll see they're full of themselves. They think everybody wants to look at them and cares what they have to say about everything.
Right. And hail, Sean Estep. Great to see you. And of course, Sci-Fi Nation. If I didn't give you a shout out earlier, it's great to see you, bud. But yeah, people are hiding behind filters. Papa Cotton is correct here. Base filters are worse. Women wonder why they are getting ghosted on massive levels. Because you're unrecognizable. Yes. People sit there and really leaned into the vanity thing, and it sat there. The psyops have sat and crushed your self-esteem. A lot of people have replaced that self-esteem with a fake bravado, with a fake veneer, with a fake layer to themselves. Instead of having natural, empowered self-esteem, they're replacing it with the fake veneer. Well, I'm going to put on this mask today, and I'm going to talk all about myself. I'm going to brag on myself, but I'm really not self-assured. Well, the reason for that is, you've been conditioned to turn away from who you are. And I think that's the major problem. Some of us are insulated from that. Those of us that are, I guess, the hood name for it are OGs. Those of us that are OGs, that are older, now you think about this, you guys. We've been through some shit. We've been through pre-technology, so we know how to insulate ourselves. Well, the younger generations coming up after us, they don't have that luxury. They got right knocked into the center of the psyops, and they are the ones getting hit with it in their brains, in their, assaulted on every level. And that, I think, is a core problem. That's why you see so many people turning to the ways of the wicked. And that's why we have a lot of the turmoil that we have in our world. Because everybody is at one another's throats. And it's in order to not notice what's happening actually behind the curtain. So they successfully have turned, us as a human race on one another, and are getting away with literal murder behind the scenes because there's not enough of us yet paying attention. So that is why we need to continue this fight, especially us that are Gen Xers, those of us that are boomers, people, that have been through the shit, people that understand what life used to be, what good values are, what, having a backbone was, what having 2 genders was. which, by the way, that's not lost on me either. I saw the drama on Twitter about that game. And all I can say, my quick opinion on that is, yeah, I will not play a game like that. That is why in my gaming tastes, I play old games. That's why. Anything after 2017 has gone down the woke shitter.
Here. I'm down with that. Retro games all the way.
So I'll be happy sitting back playing my Ghost Recon Wildlands because I can make a guy or a girl character. It's not going to ask me for pronouns. Okay. But to get back on the general topic, yes, we need to continue to speak up and try to steer as many people as we can back to the right way. But you can only lead a horse to water. You can't make him drink. So we can only do as much as we can do. Those of us that know what's coming, we just have to be prepared. Just have to be prepared. We have to prepare ourselves, our loved ones, our friends, and stay in contact and keep our circle together in order for us to make sure that we have a fighting chance. Because I think that there is enough of us that if we stick together, we're going to survive. But we need to do the right things to have a fighting chance. But I got off on a rant there, but I'm glad to get that off my chest because those that maybe didn't understand what my shows are about, what this channel's about, now you know. You've got the explanation. That is the core explanation in a nutshell. So, all of what you see happening in the news, everything that you see unfolding is likely part of a bigger plan to collapse society. Because we are on the road to societal collapse. People want to say, oh, you're a sky is falling guy. No, I'm not. We are dead straight on the road to societal collapse. And it is a manufactured societal collapse. So if you want to get out ahead of it, know that it's coming and know why they're doing it. And that's why I'm here. Now,
They want to replace you.
Oh, yeah. 100%. That's why they want the hooks in our kids. That's why they want the hooks in the generations that come after us.
Yeah, they don't want families. They don't want children.
No.
They want us to go extinct and to be replaced by the open border in the South.
No, it's not just the open border, dude. It's so much. It's so much more. So much more. But, I just want to keep continuing to do my part. And I'm glad that I've come back and, I'm able to do that. It's funny because I feel like I've almost actually, I don't know if I've ever, the entire time I've been streaming, other than when I was at the old house, as I was selling the house, I don't know that I've had an actual, kind of stable roof over my head. I was in an uncertain situation when I was streaming from the extended stay. I'm still in an uncertain situation, even though I'm staying with Will right now. But, my time here is finite as well because I can't stay here forever. I'm just staying temporarily. So, it's interesting. I've got a job, I've got a car, but I don't necessarily have a home. And that's what I'm trying to strive toward and build toward while I continue to bring you guys content. So that's it's interesting. But hey, I guess that's what makes life fun, right? It's it's the uncertainty maybe, but um, but I'm glad. I'm really glad to come back and get back in the fight, as they should, as they say. It's high time.
I'm glad to have you back, and I just want to apologize to your audience that the only guest you could get was a scaly lizard.
Oh, stop, Tolbat. I'm just I'm happy for it, and the show of support again is amazing. I'm so thankful, and hail Philip Gaming. Glad that you're here. Also, guys, some other situations I want to address. Just randomly, I still have, I know, some things to mail out to people that I got to get sent. I will get those done once I get caught up. I know that my goodness, I've been supposed to mail that stuff out to you guys so long ago because we had giveaways that were won and things like that. So I will get that stuff out. It's just right now, as I said, rebuilding. So give me time. I will get it out though. My goal is to have that stuff out by Thanksgiving, hopefully, and I will get the appropriate people that won stuff, their stuff by Thanksgiving. Just be patient with me, and we'll get that done. Now, also, if you do want to help the channel, if you do want to help on this mission to kind of get things back to where they are, you can always help the channel by going to this and throwing a few bucks in the coppers if you like. It's never mandatory. If you want to help, that's fine. You help just enough by showing up and by watching the stream. So, but if you do want to help out when you can, just use that handy dandy link right there, and that's that'll get a tip over, and that will help hopefully get things on the block a little quicker. But thank you guys, and thank you also really quick while I got you guys here. Thank you for all those that have helped in the past when I had the Give and Go open for when I was getting Mom's house ready to get on the market and try to get to the next step. I appreciate everybody that helped with that, helped with getting the house back in order so it could get sold. I appreciate the one before that, helping with Mom's funeral arrangements. Thank you so much for all your past support for that stuff. I mean, you guys have been amazing friends and amazing supporters. And I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for that stuff. You know, and there were some people that said behind the scenes, dude, if you're in a rough place, do another crowdfund. No, that's not me. I'm not going to do that. I have a full-time job now, and I'm going to do what I can with my job. And if people throw some tips on the channel on the side, that's great. But I'm not going to open a crowdfund. I'm not going to do anything like that. I just, it is what it is. I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. Thank you, Wes. Wes, I love you, man. Hail to my buddy Wes Moody. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Hail, Drew. Welcome back, sir. Wes, it's a sentiment shared by a lot of people. I am so flattered to see everyone, and I'm so thankful for the turnout. I want to say the Midnight Prism will come back. Tobat has offered to give me a hand with Prism. So, again, we'll figure out a time and night for that. I kind of think that we might stay with late night Sunday nights for that.
Yeah, I'm probably a better fit for that show anyway, as weird as I am.
Yeah, we'll probably stay late night Sunday nights for the Midnight Prism. Um, I do have a schedule of. I'm on a first shift schedule, and this time it's Eastern time, guys. I am at my job every day, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to usually 3 p.m. But if I'm in a traffic zone, and depending how long the work is, whatever we're supporting, whether it be the natural gas company that day or we're supporting the electric company, it could be, my days can range from anywhere from 8 hours to sometimes, I think my record putting in a shift in one day is 15 hours. So there is that. But normally I get done at 3 or 3:30 every day. So I'm home, and I should be able to block some time out on a Monday or Tuesday to do the United Resistance. I just got to figure out what day. I kind of want to keep the schedule the same for Resistance as well, but we'll see how that plays out. But yes. That's right. That's right. Yeah, RR giving a shout out to the Midnight Prism. That's right. We like talking about things on there because it's funny. Things in the metaphysical realm, in the spiritual realm, in the realm of things that we don't understand. It's funny how it's all intersecting. And I think there's always been a spiritual component to this. There's a spiritual warfare, guys. It's the same as the culture war and the other portions of it. There's a spiritual aspect to it as well. And there is battle going on that plane. And that's a tale as old as time because it's always going to be a push pull between good and evil. You know, and that's why we need to get so many of us back to just having a moral compass. I think that's what it boils down to. Because, I'm a believer. I like to pray. I like to read my Bible. But I walk with God and I have my own walk. I don't try to say to anybody else that you have to believe a certain way, you have to do things a certain way, you have to attend a certain church, because I don't believe that one bit. And you guys know my thoughts on the various religions right now. So many of them are corrupt from top down. And there's a man-made component to them. And that's why we have corruption in there, because the global elites, again, they have their fingers in the world governments, but they also have their fingers in the world religion. It goes hand in hand. That is one of the biggest single control mechanisms that there is of people. So when you add a man-made component to an interpretation of religion, what do you get? A control system. So that is why, you know, real believers, you trust your own walk with the Lord, with Allah, with whatever your perception is of the deity that you believe in. You believe in something higher than yourself. It's fine to believe in yourself and trust in karma, destiny, fate, whatever it is. But believing in something higher than yourself always raises you up another notch. So that is you doing your spiritual walk. And that's important. And so many people right now are so stuck on tradition and the various interpretations of their religion that they can't look and see that the very structure is corrupted. And that's why I encourage everybody, to find your spirituality in the way that you like, but, don't ever let anybody criticize you for your walk. You don't have to have a collective. You can be, and this is the beautiful thing about the ministry of Jesus. And this is true when he explained to Nathaniel, I saw you praying under the fig tree. I saw you. I heard you. Well, that represents the greater belief that, guess what? It's not a brick and mortar church that defines a ministry. It's not a structure that defines a ministry. It's your walk with your higher power. So understand that is where, if you believe in something higher than yourself, that's the essence of it. Not just belonging to a congregation or a collective.
Otherwise, you'll end up in hell with Saddam Hussein.
Mm-hmm. Did you hear that? Yes, I did. And again, people that tell the truth are going to be targeted by the global elite. They don't want to be exposed.
Who put that target on his head? Do you know that? Since you know he got a target put on his head.
Yep.
Who paid the bounty?
Thanks, Obama. Probably.
Obama's cook had oh, never mind, that was allegedly.
And by the way, guys, it's not that this is breaking news because we all knew, but it's been alluded to, I believe, on one of the Sunday talk shows by a politician that guess what? Yeah, the Obamas are running this whole administration right now. But we knew that they were the people behind the curtain, the global elites and the Obamas. But the Obamas really are the two, like, directly handling the operations. But the global elites are in on it 100%. They're Biden's bought and paid for. We all knew this.
Obama joked that time about if he could have a third term, it would be with somebody wearing an earpiece. And what does Biden have in his ear half the time?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I mean, you guys know what time it is. That's why we can already see, and look, I'm not going to get into a whole Trump debate at the moment, but a lot of us are still sticking by President Trump, and I'm glad for that, because I really do think that, in a lot of ways, by default, he's probably the best choice. But I will say this. Even with that, I don't think that he's going to make it to the election. I think that they are going to lock him up.
Yep.
And throw away the key, and that sucks. But I think that'll
cause civil unrest, and they
know absolutely.
And that's what they want. I think they want to declare martial law, and they don't want an election.
Yes.
Or if they have an election and he wins, they darn sure aren't going to turn the country over to him. You can bet that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But
what I'm saying is get ready for calamity, everyone.
Oh yeah, Eastland is correct on that. They are lower level pawns. Yes, they're, look, anything outside the 13 original bloodlines, are minions. So don't think that they're not. Your Rockefellers or your Rothschilds and people like that are always going to be top of the top. Anybody that's in those 13 families is going to be top. Everybody else are minions and pawns at different levels. They're never going to get to the same level. It's only those 13 families that wield that kind of power. And they will never let anybody else outside of those bloodlines wield that power. But
it only took 26% of the population to pull off the Revolutionary War. Always remember that. We never had New York City. They were always for England, so they've always been traitors in my book, allegedly.
Right.
These may or may not be the opinions of YouTube or the Supreme Heretic channel.
But, you know, what we need to do is really start to key in and take apart all of this fake news bullshit that they're putting out there. You know, the entire cases that are thrown against Trump right now, you can think what you want of Trump, but they are farcical. They are far-fetched, farcical. They don't stand on any solid legal ground, but you have too many corrupt judges and too many fucked up cogs in the system that will allow miscarriages of justice to proceed. Well, you asked, Eastland, 13, any significance? What is 13? It's considered an unlucky number. Some people think it's an evil number. What do you think? Of course, it has significance. Wes says, even the non-psycho oligarchs are turning against the psychos. Yes, they are. But there is not enough non-psycho oligarchs to turn against them. Papa Cotton pointing out to Tobat's facts, 20% of Gen Z is LGBTQ. Apply your little fact on that. Gets really scary real fast.
I mean, that's my point.
Yeah, it does. You know, and
they control the school systems, the college school system. They control everything. Media. We're screwed, people. Wake up. It's time to stop living in your shell and speak out.
It does. You know, you know, Papa Cotton, I was talking earlier about the rampant rise in psychological disorders, people that are damaged, people that are you know, messed up with PTSD and trauma and all kind of things like that. You know, and it's funny, at 49 years old, guys trying to be in the dating pool now or even in a relationship now. I've run into in my past, and this is just in the past, like, I want to say 20 years, so many damaged women. It seems like that's all I come across. And I don't, you know, and I joke that, yeah, I have a neon sign on my forehead that says, "Hi, I'm Supreme Heretic. Damaged women apply here." But honestly, the you know, as RR said, we're bombed with mind control and conditioning and constant psyoping and everything else. All right, so I mean, it's no surprise. It's no surprise. You remember back when we were kids, you guys, and we look at things like the messages that we were brought up on. You know, I mean, you can laugh at G.I. Joe and the PSAs and things like that, but, you know, we were at least given solid messaging. You know, but it was propaganda. To be fair, that was propaganda because it's all propaganda. But we were at least given positive propaganda and a reason to take pride in the world around you and the country. But it's concerning now with how it's flipped on a dime and we've gotten away from that. And that's what I think I'm concerned about is, that we've gotten away from just the principles of our country being right and being moral and being acceptable and being a world leader. We got away from that too. I mean, we're a weak country right now, guys. And I hate to say that because I am a proud American, but God, you got to call it as it is. We are a weak country, and it was made purposely. I mean, and this is just how much damage one administration can do. Okay? My goodness. We should be a leading exporter of energy. The world leader of exporting energy. Matter of fact, if you want to get down to it, and we're not. We're a fucking importer. We should be exporting all kinds of shit. And the economy would be in a boon right now if we were doing that. But we're importing at an all-time high. It's crazy. I mean, no wonder the dollar is so weak. We know they're trying to take it intentionally, but that's, I mean, it's crazy weak. Hey, my buddy Orange Hat Reviews. Make sure you check out Orange Hat Reviews' channel and everything else, man. He is on top of pop culture. And God, he is so not woke. And I love this guy. I love him. He is a good friend on and offline. Orange Hat, I love you, buddy. If you need my new number, let me know. Reach out to me. I'll send it to you because I got to talk to you soon. But let me tell you this, guys. And yes, it is sharing a little bit of personal detail, but let's look at something really fast. If you think about this, even 2 years ago, on the salary I have, I'm making $14 an hour, my job. Yes, that's a low wage, and I hate the fact it's a low wage, but why is it a low wage? Do you remember not too long ago, $14 an hour was a very good wage. But, $40 a week, I'm making $560. Okay, just 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, making $560, right? Times that basically by 4, and you get to about $2,240 a month, somewhere around there. So making just a shade under $2,300 a month. But if you factor in this economy, you can't survive on that. Because guess what? That is just a hair under $30,000 a year. You can't survive. A person can't survive on $30,000 a year. A single person. You literally have to make $40,000+ a year to survive as a single person in this country right now. Case in point, I reached out to someone on Facebook the other day about a rental. Got back a list of criteria. And if we want to go down a rabbit hole here, we can here in a second, because there is a serious lack of private landlords, by the way. All of these properties that if you reach out about a rental, an apartment, condo, whatever it is, guess what? It's always these property companies that own it. And when you go up the chain to find out who owns that little property company, it ends up leading to BlackRock, Vanguard, and people like that. It is turned into just companies that own these properties. It's almost like finding a unicorn now to find a private landlord. But let me get back on topic. So I reach out about this apartment. The criteria they send me back, you have to have first month security deposit and last month rent. Okay, first month and security deposit used to be the standard. Hell, security deposit just used to be the standard. But that isn't the worst thing, because those standards you knew would change eventually. Not only do they want you to make 3 times the income, which, like, let's say I want to move into a place and the rents are mainly, you're starting off now from about $750 and up for even a single bedroom. But then you're getting into stuff like, all right, 900 range, which is what a lot of them are, like 850, 900. They want you to make 3 times the rent. So that's already well over $2,700. And remember what I said, I make $2,300 a month. So I'm already short on that. So I don't qualify on that level. Then they want you to have a 650 minimum credit score. Well, a lot of people, for whatever reasons, have problems with their credit in their low 600s or somewhere in the 500s. So guess what? Again, disqualification. Then they want to run a comprehensive background check that not only includes your credit check, but they want to know eviction, which is standard, but they also have to go into now your criminal record, and in some cases, they want to scrub your social media profiles. I mean, are you kidding me? But these are the standards I'm running up against, even reaching out about some of these rentals. It's crazy ridiculous.
It's like the beginnings of this. They got the credit score thing, and in China they have the social credit score, which is kind of translating over here in ways, and eventually it's just going to create the beast system, and it's going to prevent you from buying anything. Now it's housing, the next thing it'll be is food.
Yeah, and RR said there's lots of turnover in apartments. Yeah, but RR, this is like all the rentals, like even rental homes that I've reached out about, you guys, same thing. Like, these ridiculous standards are in place, and it's like, who did that? And look, I understand that. On the flip side of that, as a landlord, a lot of these private landlords sold out to companies because it's a pain in the ass. If you own property and you're turning it into a rental property, and you get tenants that go in there and they're just shit tenants. They trash the property, they their pets fuck it up, they all kind of shit. And then the squatter issue that we had, especially during COVID, and the fact
it's hard to get those people out. And then you got thousands and thousands of dollars in repairs, and then you have to rent the house out again, and you have to cover that loss. A lot of people just aren't equipped to do that.
Yeah, and so a lot of these private landlords sold out to companies. And then these companies come in with these ridiculous standards. And guess what? There's now a barrier for people to get into housing.
Right. Like, you get a blip on your credit because you had some rough times, and now you got a job, you got some money saved up, and you're trying to, get a new place, and then they check your credit like, oh, well, you didn't pay these bills, so we're not going to rent to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what the hell am I supposed to do? I mean, in Drew's situation, like, really, what the hell are you supposed to do? Luckily, he has a friend who's helping him out. And like my son, he got in a rough patch, and he's 20 years old, and he's, he doesn't want to do this, but he's moving back home with us for a little while so he can catch back up. It's, and a lot of people are going through the same crap right now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Like right now, you guys, being honest, unless I find a private landlord, it's going to be hard for me to find a roof just based on this stuff. My credit score is just under 600. So that is already killing me. And then I've got the problem of, that barrier that says, oh, make 3 times the rent in income. It's like, I've never heard of more of a stupid criteria than make 3 times the fucking rent in income. If I make enough to pay the rent, I make enough. Yeah, okay, Tobat. If I make enough to pay the rent and clear my other bills, and I make enough to pay the rent, clear my other bills, it isn't your fucking business if I make 3 times the rent. So I mean, it's just crazy to have that criteria put on you. You know, I understand that, Papa Cotton. I understand the credit check. That's fine, but the credit check should be enough. So now the problem is, CJ, I'm starting from ground up again. So the thing is I have to put enough money away to actually buy land. I mean, that would be a great option if I had enough to actually get land, but it'd be nice because I'd like to buy up like an acre and build like a one of those like Amish built log cabins on there and be done with it. Because I like those Amish log cabin homes, but I don't know how realistic that is. Now, the other side of it, I have the option to go FHA, and you can get an FHA loan with the lower credit score, but again, you still have to have I believe 3.5% of a down payment, for to get in a home. So, I am looking at the options, you guys. I'm staying with it, and we'll see. But that is what I'm up against. And I really would like to get in whatever I can get into, but apartment, condo, trailer, house, I don't care. I just want to get into something by October 31st, have a secure roof over my head before the winter gets here, and be able to breathe. So God willing, that is my goal. So October 31st is my goal. And we're not going to lose sight of that. And you guys that are viewers, you're going to help me stay on that and just be like, October 31st. Let's go. We're going to get there.
That's right. It's the Trick or Treat Express.
That's right, dude. The Halloween dream. That's what we're going to call it, guys. The Halloween dream. But that's Mama Heretic's birthday, so it was fitting. But
oh yeah, Macho Man coming from heaven above. We're gonna meet that goal. Oh yeah, Macho Man.
Yeah, Papa Cotton, sadly, you're not wrong. Property tax is the biggest crime in this country.
I totally screwed that up. I had to try though.
Yeah.
He's over here coughing and hacking off camera.
Yeah, Eastland, I was looking at that. I mean, that seems the way to go. I just got to get enough to save up a 3% down. And listen, at least one good thing is, guys, in my town, my old town that I just moved from, I can find a home in the 130s, 150s, and then that means I only have to 3% of that, about $1,500 to put down. I'm good. So we'll see. I just got to get my credit score bumped. Becky, hi, honey. Great to see you. Great to see you, Becky. Direct taxation is a big problem. Yes, it is. I mean, we're taxed on our income, we're taxed on our property, we're taxed on so much. If we just had a tax on the things we pay for, on goods and services, that's it. That's all you need. You don't need everything else. But, I mean, sadly, it is what it is. And you know what? Papa Cotton, I can't blame you. I can't blame you, buddy. Because that is what you're up against. You're up against the tax machine. Well, they're talking about climate taxes, CJ, so you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's just a mess out there.
It is right now, and it's a direct result again of them trying to crash
Yeah.
our economy, you guys, and that's
When
how we're going to end up with the digital currency.
when we moved here, we had a lot of extra money at the end of the month, and that was
Mhm.
what was it, spring of 2020? We moved here,
Mhm.
and over the last 3 years, we have systematically seen that extra money turn into a shortage, and our savings is gone. Our debt is up, just like everybody else in America. And we're paycheck to paycheck again. And I never thought I'd be here again, making what I'm making.
Right.
Because what I'm making isn't that much anymore with inflation the way it is, and the amount of kids and my wife. So
Right. Insurance premiums again are skyrocketing. And Big John's correct. They are talking about lockdowns and mask mandates again because they're trying to stir up another round
yeah,
of bullshit COVID. So, by the way, guys, don't fall for it. Tell your
resist that
friends,
shit.
tell your friends not to fall for it. But I want to touch on the insurance premiums. I just experienced this with my car insurance. Now, you guys remember the Equinox? I had that Chevy Equinox. After the extended stay, um, the dealership where I bought the Equinox originally wanted my Equinox because they wanted to, they needed Chevy Equinoxes to sell because it's a Chevy dealership. They were short on inventory. So they wanted to buy it back. So they gave me a good deal if I traded it in. I traded in for a more fuel efficient car. I expend a lot of gas in my new job, so I need that. So I got a year newer car with the same amount of miles on it, about 24,000 miles at the time on it. And, you know, the payment went up some, but the insurance, okay, now it's with State Farm. State Farm wanted to charge me $300 for insurance on the vehicle that I have now. 2022 Hyundai Venue. They wanted charge me $306. I let that shit lapse because it lapsed as of a few days ago. I let that shit lapse. And I actually called Geico, and Geico gave me a reasonable rate. They said, we'll do your insurance for $110 a month.
Yeah, I had pretty good luck with Geico. Progressive, they were good for a while, and then they tried to snake me.
So State Farm, and listen, I'm not going to bag on State Farm because their shit is good. Their claim service, all that shit is good. But when you deal with those national insurance companies, they're dicks. And while their service is pretty good, you're gonna pay through the ass for it. And I paid through the ass for State Farm. And at least Geico cut me a break. My insurance is reasonable. I can't complain. And I still have full coverage. So it is what it is. But I switched because insurance was cray, man. So yeah, the insurance rates are going up. And I'm lucky for now. And then when Geico fucks me, I'll go elsewhere again. Because RR's right. Or, it's going to get worse, especially with insurance. So, anyways, I will be winding it down here in a few minutes. I wanted to at least get a good like hour, 20 minutes plus in, close to an hour and a half. And mission accomplished on that. But the main thing was, guys, I wanted to come on here and just come back and say, I appreciate you guys for not only waiting, but just being generous and just being my friend, just being my honest to goodness, down to earth friends and sticking with me and everything else. I can't thank you enough for what you did, for just that. The turnout today has been absolutely amazing.
I was gonna say, I was gonna thank everybody for showing up like they did, because it really shows you personally that this audience cares about you, because I know you care about them, and I just thank you everybody for showing up for Drew today.
Yeah, I mean, I am blown away, you guys. I really am. I love each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. Papa Cotton, Rita, Zax, Becky. It's CJ, Sean. John, are everybody that has been here. I mean, Eastland, thank you so much, because she came over when I sent the link on the Facebook side. So thank you. Rita and Dwayne. And like I said, Rita, I'll be reaching out after the stream. Thank you so much. Wes, thank you so much for the super chat. Guys, it means the world to me. It means the world to me and Godzillionaire. And my goodness, I'm really blown away. I am. I'm blown away by this, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Nothing makes me happier, because as all of these curveballs that life has thrown at me, just to see the outpouring of friendship, can't ask for anything better. So, we are going to keep fighting him until we can. And I mean that. I'm coming back. So, I'm glad that I was able to do it. Thank you to everybody that modded today, and everybody that stopped in. Anybody out there, Wes, I'm sure will continue to collaborate with me, and you'll see me with Wes, and Wes will be here, and I'll be there, and and any more creators that want to collaborate. I know Ryan Roger Athey said that he wanted to collaborate at some point. I'm going to reach out to him. Of course, I'm going to reach out to Sir Talks a Lot and get collaborating with Corey again. And we'll get the band back together. But I'm just glad to be back on the train. And Tobat, thank you for being on here. Thank you for everything, buddy. And
No problem, man.
I really appreciate it.
Life is hard. We have to be here for each other. That's what life's about. Sticking together with real friends.
Yeah, I thank you guys. I love you, family. I do. You guys are that. You guys are extended family. Thank you so much. And I will be back. I will let you guys know what we decide for Resistance. I'm still leaning at keeping it on at the same time on Tuesdays, but if we can get it, maybe, let's see what's open on Monday. But Monday or Tuesday is what I'm leaning at for that. Obviously, Sundays we'll probably keep Prison Prism at Sundays. I think we'll take a break from Prism tonight, but we'll start Prism back next Sunday, and we'll go from there. But thank you guys for showing up big. Wow, I'm gonna be on top of the world the rest of the day. So thank you. You guys did make my day and my night, and I will see you just as soon as we figure out the schedule. I will put a tweet out, and we will go from there. So thank you. Wokebreaker, shout out to Wokebreaker. Thank you for popping in, buddy. Great to see you. And yeah, you're late, but you can watch the replay, bro. And thanks, man. But till next time, guys, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. You know, we got this. We got this. We are going to get through all of this nonsense together. Together. I'm telling you. We are going to beat all of this shit back, and we are going to make a better world. We really are. We're going to get the world back to what it should be. All right.
Trump Ramaswamy 2024.
All right. Take care, guys. We'll see ya.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, hi, Close Casino.
Hey, welcome to Sporking News Podcast. My name is Scott.
I'm Temple Kuyan of the Place to Be Reviews.
I am the Patriot, Drew Taylor, aka Supreme Heretic.
The Red Gaze on YouTube, at the Red Gaze on Twitter.
What up, what up, what up?
Hello, everybody. It's me, Vinny.
The voice of Immortal Coil.
Oh, hey, I am the Ghost Bear.
What's going on, Tommy? You didn't get anybody to like this?
Yeah, I'm Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast.
Tony, that rocking.
I mean, we have a lot of cool things over there. I did some magic tricks.
Hi, guys. Try to stay here.
My name is Monkey Knight.